It's time once again for another episode of Comin at Ya. Comin at Ya, a podcast about the world of mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, Comin at Ya, and heavy metal music with a slice of comedy for good measure. Comin at Ya.
Professional fade right there.
And we're back.
It's like a barber.
Episode 187.
On an undercover cop.
On an undercover cop. We have a special guest with us.
Hello.
Brianna Bubbles, amateur aardvark enthusiast, and best-selling author on aardvarks.
I think she came in here with a whole different game plan and then finally sat down at the table with us and everything just changed.
Everything changed.
Guys, I'm not going to have a drink because I've got to be responsible.
So
14 drinks later, here she is.
So Brianna, I need more bass in mine. So Brianna, Bullets lost 60 pounds.
I know.
65.
I know.
A little closer.
Sorry.
There you go.
I've never done this before.
I love when they say that.
I know he's lost 60 pounds. We were actually talking about the fact that I feel like he looks more like a child now. Like he's got the baby face going
Like more
in full
childish?
effect.
What did you think he looked like before?
Man. Now he's got the baby
so
face.
he was manly.
Now I have
Now
a
he's got
baby
the baby
face.
face.
Now he's not
Yeah.
manly.
That's why I'm growing the scruff today.
Yeah, I think that was a good choice.
Thank you.
I think that was a good choice.
Without the
There's a couple pictures I'm like, oh wow, you're like in your 20s again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I look
hey,
young.
hey.
Can you just take a second and show her your carry permit picture? What a fucking psychopath. Where do you see this picture?
Oh boy.
I've seen it.
You got to understand, Tata Tati doesn't like me to exercise my my rights. That's not a bad picture. It's just
Not the
whatever.
new one.
Not
The
the-
old
no,
one
no.
with the shaved head.
The one I cannot believe they gave you a
You
license
took a shaved
picture.
head picture.
Well, look at this picture.
Very
Like they
cool.
gave this dude
No,
a
that's
gun.
gonna be
They
a
gave that
no.
guy a gun.
There's not a
No,
fucking
no
reason
way.
in the world this dude
No,
should have a
no,
gun.
Absolutely not.
Right?
There should
I
be a
can't get
computer
behind
program
that.
that actually
The
just
one
flags
picture?
him right away.
One picture? Believable. Have all the guns you want.
Respectable.
The other picture?
Upstanding citizen.
Don't fucking go anywhere near a gun for that guy.
I'm fine now. I grew my hair.
Yeah, but I'm saying you had. How long was that license for?
I think that's like 6 years.
6 years. You had to have that psychopath picture in your pocket.
Yep.
So anyway, Babyface. Where's my background music? He's already having trouble. He's
Got
already
one
having
job.
trouble. You have one
One
job.
job.
You have one job.
Yeah, make you sound good.
Which is not happening.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
my-
you're not doing it right now.
No,
My-
I'm
So
Is my mic down all the
no,
way?
you're fine.
All right.
So Bullets lost 60 pounds, Brianna.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
At one time, a couple years ago, just so you get the background story, he had a bet with another friend of ours, that he had to lose 100 pounds by a certain date
Or I would get a PP tattoo
on his chest,
On my chest.
kind of like Brock Lesnar's sword size. So he lost 100 pounds. And then he had an issue, right?
I had an injury.
Him and Gravity didn't get along one day.
Absolutely, I understand those
He
struggles.
he hit the ground with 350 pounds of body weight.
More than that, because like the.
No, I'm just
the
talking about your
momentum.
regular weight before he
Oh,
fell.
Yeah.
350 pounds before he fell and crashed into the ground.
Sounds.
Fast forward 2 years, right? February this year. He decides, I want to be normal again.
It was actually really quick. It was really quick that you lost a lot of weight.
And all I did was yoga, and
Diamond Dallas Page yoga.
Yeah, DDP
DDP
yoga.
yoga.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, I had a really good workout this afternoon too. Actually,
Well, what'd you do? Because last week he just shit the bed. His thing last week was, I'm not going to work out this week. And then we started questioning him about it. He had worked out like 5 days.
I took off. No,
I took
woe
off.
is
Me.
I took off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Because I was just beat up. My body was hurting, and I wasn't feeling good, and I was running a fever. Recovered, took that, kind of took it a little bit easy. Still ate well,
As you should.
and then
But
today,
didn't quite exercise as much.
exactly, and then this week I've been just killing it on workouts.
What'd you do today?
I did what's called Fat Burner 2.0.
Ooh, have you ever done 1.0?
No, that
Is
was
there a
like,
3.0 more importantly?
if he films it, it will be.
So right now there's
Things to
not a
come,
level
things to come.
3.0. You're at the ultimate level of fat burning.
The only way that here's the thing. I think
2.0.
it's cool that I can get my heart rate up into like the 140s standing still, and it's cool.
Are you moving yet or does it?
Well, what I mean is I'm not running. I don't have to beat the body up to get
But
it
what
up.
do you
there.
what do you do in fat burning 2.0?
What exercises?
Yeah.
A
Why do I
lot
gotta
of-
pull teeth here?
A lot of
Tell me
like,
what the fuck you did.
well, like a lot of broken tables.
What's a broken table?
That's where like when you're on all fours and then this one goes out and then this opposite.
Is that what
leg.
that's called? I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a broken
See, I
table.
learn something every show.
That's what he calls it.
How long do you have to stick the leg out too?
Oh yeah, and you got to do crunches, and then you got to go to broken airplane. Now this one's out here, this leg's out. And
How long you got to do that for?
You do them for different reps, and then you crunch, and then
But
you
how
hold.
how long did you do it for?
Oh, that workout was 30 something minutes, and then I did.
Is it nonstop from start to finish?
Yeah, and then I did red hot core right after that, which was like 13 minutes of just abs and shit, which is pretty fun.
But the broken table sounds hard.
It's not fun.
Hey, I'm curious to see how hard you're actually working.
I'm pretty hard. I mean, I think it was, and then I did a half hour on the elliptical machine before that to get the heart rate up and everything too.
Okay, and what did you eat today?
I had I steamed broccoli, steamed fresh organic broccoli, and then I had grilled chicken breast, plain.
Oh,
For lunch, I had just some mixed fruit with water, and then for breakfast,
like were you drinking water or it's
Like you put
thrown
fruit
in
in
water?
water.
Like instead of like cereal with milk, it was fruit with water.
no, I had like a small bowl of mixed fruit, and I had bottled water.
Okay.
And then for breakfast, I had some kashi, dry,
And here you go. Now you're looking younger again.
I know.
Like a baby.
Vitality.
Like a
Fountain-
baby.
Fountain of youth.
yeah, pretty
Like a
much.
fucking baby.
Child.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
feeling good.
Now, obviously, I know Brianna from jiu-jitsu,
I don't know her from jiu-jitsu. I know
but
her.
she
But you only-
figured
I
out
only-
you from the show.
No,
No, not true.
I thought you had heard his voice.
No, actually, so.
Into
I
the
was
mic.
Oh, again, this is.
That's all right. You can
harder
hear
than
the
it
difference
seems.
when you're doing it.
So I actually was at work one day, and Bullet was frequenting my work
But
establishment.
how did you know who he was?
So I was talking about jujitsu with
Oh,
one
okay.
of my clients,
Gotcha.
actually, and he overheard. This isn't actually as creepy as it sounds. I am an occupational therapist.
Was
so
he overheard you?
He was in my clinic.
Was he
was in my
standing
clinic.
behind a
I was-
curtain?
No, we
I
were
was
like
sitting
in an
there.
open. It's a giant open room, and I have like a little corner of the room, and I was sitting at my table, and I was talking about jujitsu with one of my clients.
Is he in like a gown or something
No,
like that?
he's just like sitting, like basically, I'm here and you're Bullet. We're
Yeah.
that far apart.
Yeah.
And I said something about jujitsu, and he goes, "You train jujitsu?" And I said, "Yeah." And
Did
it
he
was
do that
kind
with
of
the
like
shoulder? He's like,
he kind of did one of these, and he was like, "Oh,
did
that's
he,
cool."
Did he do the hair?
He's like, "Did one of these," and then he's like, "That's cool."
I didn't have.
And he's like,
I didn't have
"Where?"
long hair at the
Well,
time.
I don't know.
No, I
I
don't
just
think you did.
I didn't.
I don't think you did.
I had a depression beard though.
so then
Yeah,
you guys started
that's-
chatting.
So we started chatting. He said, "Where do you train?" I said, "I train at Tri-State." And he said, "I know people at Tri-State." And I said, "You do?" I said, "Well, I know people also because I train there."
She knows people.
I know
Yeah, and you
people.
knew people too.
So then it came up that he knew you, and he said, "Yeah, I do a podcast with him." And I said, "Oh, I've listened to that." And then he just started going into a tirade of apology. "I am so sorry. Please don't judge me."
Was he embarrassed for himself?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was super embarrassed. Super,
So,
super embarrassed.
When you tell people about the show, you just get embarrassed?
Females,
Ladies.
because I think sometimes they see me in character and they think,
Is it a character?
yep,
Sometimes, this newsflash, sometimes your guys are a little off color.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes the ladies aren't so crazy about that.
Oh.
It's sometimes like
What if Bullet says the C word? He's had a tendency lately to throw that out there.
I, in particular, don't necessarily mind.
Oh,
that
I thought
word.
that was going to go a whole different way.
No, I mean,
Fuck her.
again,
Let's talk
we're
about something else then.
Oh, sorry. Well, that ruined my street cred.
No,
so-
she gave you some props. Like, hey, if
Oh,
he-
this is what that is?
if
I
he's
was
gonna
like, is
say
that
it,
a
he's gonna
shut
say
up?
it.
I don't
no, that was a high five.
Yeah, so we just kind of started talking, and then it was kind of weird. Do I have sound? I don't
yeah,
have
we
sound.
you're
can
good.
hear you fine.
Oh, okay. So then I guess we just started talking more about how everybody knew each other, and it ended up that then it got real weird because then, like, Popo's next fight, we all ended up
yeah.
hanging out
Oh,
together.
and that's where the famous picture comes from.
The famous photo bomb.
Actually, that was like our second or third fight that we hung out together.
Yeah.
That picture
We,
happened.
yeah,
we do have some grumbling on the podcast right
Oh,
now.
no.
People were expecting some conversations about aardvarks.
Oh.
Who asked
Okay.
that?
Hold
So
on.
There was some false advertising.
Tina Dean and Nicole or
There was,
Volpe are
there was
asking,
false advertising. I had nothing
Well,
to do
false
with
advertising.
it. You can blame Bullet
But you-
1,000%. I had nothing to do.
But you had
with
met
the
Bullet
tomfoolery.
when he had his crazy foot injury,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. He was rehabbing it when I met him.
Yeah. And you see injuries all the time.
Absolutely.
You actually got your own injury in
I
jiu-jitsu.
do. I have had several in jiu-jitsu. My most recent is definitely the biggest and most frustrating.
I hurt a knuckle the other day in my hand.
Okay.
It's hand
Well,
therapy week. Maybe you can tell me
What
what
a
I did wrong.
coincidence. It's hand therapy week.
That right there was a professional grade segue.
I did. Like, she didn't even notice it was happening.
That was-
Oh, I
it was
did. I saw
professional-
it coming
it was
a
professional
mile
until you
away.
said
It took
was
her a
professional.
second. She had to ask. But this one I jammed. So when I closed my hand,
What were you
It
doing when
hurts.
you jammed it?
you caught a
jiu-jitsu.
gi?
I was jiu-jitsuing.
Was it a gi caught?
Now I banged into somebody kneed on it, kneeled, so it hurt. So what do they do to celebrate National Hand Therapy Week? Is that a thing?
Not a whole lot.
Is it a whole week
They
of celebration?
Really say, there's no celebration. It's just kind of like, hey, it's a thing, and then
Is
everybody
there
goes about
like
their day.
in the office? Is there something you guys do every day in celebratory? Like, is there like a fake cake, like a cake shaped like a hand that everybody cuts into?
No.
Yeah, I would eat that. You would eat that.
Well, it depends on what day.
Your cheat day.
It's a cheat day.
You cheat
Easy.
day.
Easy.
Cheat day.
I got some people in here that think the C word is their favorite word.
Oh my.
Is it guys or girls?
It's girls, and in fact, they wanted to talk about aardvark.
Well, let's talk about
What's
aardvarks
that?
because you're an amateur aardvark enthusiast.
So I'm not. Where did this come
Just
from?
roll with it.
We're gonna roll with it. We're
Just
gonna
roll with
pretend.
it. Ready? Let's do this over. It's not
Okay.
live.
So aardvarks.
You're an amateur aardvark enthusiast. Like, what is it about the aardvark that made you want to write a book called "I Am Aardvark"? I mean, you really got into the mind, the psychology,
It
if
felt
you will.
like I'm not gonna lie. I read the same book. I felt like she was an aardvark.
I did too. I mean, like, you lived amongst them, you gained their trust.
Did.
Was she? You were the alpha
I mean, I was
aardvark.
basically in
I can't even
push-up
say that.
position for 6 months, so I also got jacked. It was great.
I
But then
mean-
the writing period, everything just goes downhill.
Now, the thing of it is like, you know, one of their main moves is they fake dead.
That's a
That's
possum.
possums. Wrong
Aardvarks
animal.
too.
No, aardvarks do not do that.
Excuse me,
You're
I lived
talking to
amongst
the
them for 6
fucking
months. I'm gonna say that
world-renowned
they don't.
expert
Okay.
right here.
What is it about the aardvark? I mean, all right, in chapter 6. I mean, I don't want to quote it, but in chapter 6, you found yourself in I dare say, a love triangle between the one that you called George and the other one that you called Bill.
It looks like he's actually reading this from somewhere.
It's right
It
here,
really
actually, right
does.
in my notes.
Oh, no, no.
Like, what? How did you get into this? How did you get out of it? I mean,
Was
how
there
are they
a
doing
fight
now?
for dominance?
I would like to think that I.
It's a National Hand Week.
This is too much. I'm sorry. We got to change.
So
I know nothing about aardvarks. I don't want to misrepresent myself.
What do
so
you know
I
about-
apologize to the aardvark community for the false advertising.
I got a question
that
for you.
happened.
This
Yes.
is a legit question.
Okay.
I can barely close my fingers from
That's not a good
arthritis.
thing.
Is there a way to get rid of that? Can I get rid of that? I'd love to.
Yeah,
So
but-
you can't ever get rid of arthritis. Like it doesn't go away unless you
Can't I
replace
just
the
like take?
joints.
It's like an old glove. Like, can't I just like break it in more?
There's actually, well, you can have it splinted to increase motion. That's a thing that happens. But if it's arthritis, we a lot of times don't do that. You're not gonna like this answer. I know you're not gonna
I'm
like
already
my
not
answer.
liking it.
You're not gonna like it, especially about what I'm gonna say next.
I have
But
to
you
lose the hand?
probably-
You gotta fucking lose the hand.
No, you don't have to lose the hand. But you probably should go see a hand surgeon just to get evaluated and then go to therapy.
It's
I
all
know.
my fingers.
Well, exactly. So you go and you say, my hands are killing me. They take an x-ray and they go, you need therapy. And then you go to a hand therapist and they'll work with you to try and figure
What
it
kind
out.
of therapy would they do
Yeah,
to
what would they
help
do?
him
Would they-
regain the mobility?
how would they loosen it up?
So they might do some splinting. You might wear some splints
I don't
at
know what a
night.
splitting is.
So basically.
It's like locking my fingers out like that.
No. So there's all different kinds. We actually don't want to go, this position is not generally good, but there's,
What if I want to shoot lasers?
then that position is optimal.
Where I can go underhand and
But
shoot
that's
lightning.
That's not what
Webs.
we're really gonna do. So I think so splinting, we basically take this like plastic material that when you heat it up, it gets really soft, and then you mold it to the hand in a certain position.
Right.
When you wear those at night to bed, it actually allows your joints to kind of relax. It allows all the structures.
they're tight, like pulling them closed? Is that
No,
what
it
is?
doesn't pull them closed.
No,
So
no,
the
no. The right now, like it's pulling them this way, or
So we'd actually put you in a position kind of like you
a
have
slee
lobster
stack.
claws.
Like a slee stack.
Now I was
kinda
I
like
was
the
thinking
lobster
more
claws.
like the chameleon, just climbing.
It's
Well, we got a lot of people that train jiu-jitsu
yes,
or train some type of grappling.
absolutely.
What is it about jiu-jitsu that would cause this kind of damage?
So I think the thing is, everybody kind of thinks like, oh, I'm not striking, so I'm not causing damage
Exactly.
to my hands, right? That's not really the case. So there's a lot of like sustained gripping patterns that you have to do. You have to hold on to gis for a long time.
Right.
You transition a lot. There's a lot of force too, because if you're holding onto a gi and someone's pulling away from you, now it's not just I have to hold on to a long time. I have to hold on, and I need a lot of power. Yeah, there's a lot of power that you need to hold on to that. So we are more.
Real quick, why don't weightlifters get the same issue?
They're actually not sustained nearly as long as what we are against as much force, because theirs is a constant pressure. A lot of our force is kind of a jerking motion.
Right.
Right? It's because people are trying to
Push-pull.
break that grip. Exactly. It's like a push-pull. People are trying to break the grip. So there tends to be a lot more likelihood for injury. Your body's just not necessarily meant to sustain that for long periods of time. I mean, I think at this point, everybody has seen Keenan Cornelius's
Oh,
hands,
yeah.
right? Like, everybody's seen that picture, and, like, this is a young guy. He's in his 20s.
Like mid-20s.
Yeah, he's like mid-20s, and his hands are totally,
Trashed.
they're a mess. They're absolutely a mess. Now, granted, he's training like 6 to 8 hours every day.
Have you seen the Maeo brothers' hands?
I haven't, I don't think so. Are they real
Ooh.
bad? Okay.
Pretty bad.
They're not going to be playing piano anytime soon.
No.
So there's a lot of things you like can do to try and limit that, but some of the times too is with jiu-jitsu, another thing that happens that's kind of really detrimental is we tend to train specific moves for elongated periods of time. Like, when you talk to like people who train, what are they saying? They're like, I'm working spider guard right now, and maybe you're working spider guard for like a month at a time.
Or us, like when we do something, like we'll do triangles for like 3 weeks. with
Exactly.
Or
variations.
De La
Exactly.
Hiva, you're working on a De La
Exactly.
Hiva.
Yeah.
De La Hiva and triangle are brutal on the hands. They're just brutal. So you're working it for like 3 weeks, a month at a time, trying to get
Just
better at
gripping all
this
day long.
movement. In reality, it would be better if we kind of worked it, went to something else, worked it, went to something
Right,
else.
but you don't
even
get the
in a
muscle
single
memory
session.
when you do that. That's the problem.
Well, so the thing is, like, muscle memory is like,
if I do a triangle
Kind
100
of.
times, my body's going to know how to do it automatically.
exactly. Well, that's the thing is, and if you do anything
If
enough,
I just do
it's
it one
gonna know
class and I'm trying to, it's not going to
But
stick.
There's not evidence that you need to do it consecutively. So if you did 100 triangles and you kind of spaced it out, not necessarily like over the course of like 6 months, yeah, that's not going to work for you. But if you kind of spaced it out where maybe instead of working your drills for 20 minutes at a time, you work them 10 minutes at a time
Oh.
instead, you might actually have less of an issue. The other thing too is just what are you doing before you're doing it and what are you doing after you're doing
Warm
it?
up some cool downs.
Exactly. That's a huge
I
thing.
don't
Like,
really do a cool down.
well, you should really, and when your body's nice and warm like that, that's optimal time to try and stretch everything out, make sure you're not aggravating
I never
everything.
even think to
Well,
do
with
it.
music, I mean, it's a similar thing with music.
Absolutely.
I have more, and because it's more repetitive motions instead of pressure. But in the wintertime, I'm much more cognizant of doing warm-ups before I practice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because in the wintertime, you're indoors more.
Yeah.
So I'm much more aware of, okay, I have to warm up. I have to warm up because my hands hurt or things like that if there's long stretches or there's
What do you
weird
do to
core
warm
shapes.
up?
Scale exercises or just play very, very lightly, very loosely.
Any air guitar?
No, but I think there's not any
I
there's
do
no
air jujitsu.
well there's no pressure being exerted. My issues are more in the wrist. However, because of the fact that I'm using my hands, it's a similar mindset. You have to warm up, you have to cool down, and I think people tend to think it's my hands. I don't have to worry about them. You're worrying more about your knees, your ankles, elbows, joints that are locked out,
Absolutely.
joints that
No
are maybe
good.
being manipulated, my
No
neck.
good. Yeah.
But your hands are just you take them for granted.
You do. And a lot of times, too, especially, this is not meant to be offensive, but especially like the new guys, like the white belts, your early blue belts, are using overpressure
Yeah, because
a
you're
lot.
locking on.
Exactly. They're
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
locking
doing
on.
death grips when you really shouldn't be death gripping that. You should have kind of more, I mean, you need it to be...
That's
they're
just
not-
out of pure fear.
Well, they're not.
well,
they're
that
not
also-
relaxed. They're
Right.
not
I
relaxed.
understand that.
Whereas your higher belts are thinking, 3 moves ahead. Okay, you know what? It's not life or death if I lose this grip, because if I lose this grip, the guy's going to extend himself back, and I can kind of get under their leg.
Exactly.
A little bit more of a flow.
They have more forgiveness in their technique
sure.
if they don't nail something.
It's well, it's exactly what you said. It's a technique thing. It's not a strength thing.
Right.
Whereas guys will get a death grip, like you said, on a lapel or a leg or something.
When I go with somebody, 99% of the time, I know if I fail at it, I can just keep going.
There's something else you're going to find it. You're going to find another in.
I do have a question from somebody who says maybe a potential patient.
Oh, no.
When their social life dries up, and my corporal tunnel in my right hand flares up, is there any possible resolution?
Go lefty.
So,
or relation, I'm sorry.
Wait, so say that one from the start again.
So when Volpe's asking when their
He
social life...
still
What were
can't.
the rules?
He still can't talk into the
What were
mic.
the
I am.
rules?
I'm right here.
One job.
There were
Stop
rules.
it.
Your mic is jacked up.
No, it's not. Now it is.
It's jacked up.
But Volpe's asking when her social life dries up and her corporal tunnel starts bothering her, it starts flaring up.
Okay.
This is from a woman
Yes.
All right.
asking.
All right.
She wants to know
Now-
if there's any relationship there between the two.
She's.
I would.
Is she jerking a
I
lot of dudes
don't-
off in her social
I don't really
life?
want to know like what her social activities are at this point,
It's
but
it's
I'm going to
a lot of
say
jerking.
that carpal tunnel can be caused by
Into the
any
mic, please.
multitude of
Repetitive motions.
repetitive activities, and
Oh, it's repetitive.
especially ones where there are a lot of jits guys get carpal tunnel too.
Right.
Again, that sustained motion kind of thing.
A lot of musicians
but
do.
definitely, like if you go to see a PT or an OT, they'd probably want to help you out with that. Again, there's some splints that they can make that really kind of make it so you can.
Have
delay
you ever had
surgery.
any like crazy hand injuries that
Oh my
somebody
God,
made it all the way back
So
from?
many.
Do you have like a favorite story, like
So
somebody
many.
just succeeded?
I do. I have a lot. Actually.
Are you allowed to tell them?
I can, as long as
you
I
don't say their name.
So as long as I don't say their name and they're not identifiable to anybody, yeah, it's not a HIPAA violation. So,
Okay.
one of my
Will you
favorite.
stop texting?
Wow.
Someone said,
Wow, is this story
we
not
need to read the
interesting? I'm really
questions.
sorry. I'm really
That's his
sorry.
job up there. Go ahead. Brianna's going to finish her story real
Okay,
fast.
so I had this guy who had this really rare type of arthritis, and it's called septic arthritis. And basically, you wake up one day and your hand is just massively infected, and for whatever reason, the infection starts to create arthritis in your joints. So, like the arthritis you had times like 50 because they can't move anything.
So he's just
Oh
got a
my
hand
God.
locked in place.
So your hand is just swollen, it's red, and it's huge. It looks like a baseball glove, and it starts to like basically eat away at your joints is how you can think about it. And it's really hard to come back from. It's super rare. And this guy was like, I want to ride my Harley Davidson. That's all I want to do. So when he came to me, I was just like,
did you help him?
oh, of course I treated him, but deep down in the back of my head,
You're
I
like,
was
you're
like,
going to die
I
when you
was
get
like,
on that motorcycle.
I really don't know if this guy's going to be able
Lock
to get
in
back
this one.
on it.
Did he ride it?
He came, so his insurance cut off, so I couldn't see him, but I gave him a really extensive, so I saw him for a really long time, and then his
Right.
insurance cut out. So
How long? Like years?
I saw him for probably about 6 months, which is
Okay.
it's a pretty long time.
Pretty long time.
And I gave him a really good home exercise program. We made him all kinds of stuff, and then I didn't hear from him. I didn't hear from him for months. And one day I've got like 4 patients in front of me, and all of a sudden he just rolls in
On a motorcycle?
with the keys to his Harley in his hand.
Nice.
It was awesome. And
That
he
must have
literally
made you
was like,
feel
do you
good.
have time for a ride? And I was like, oh my God. I have
You're
4
like, I don't
patients.
trust this
No, I don't.
dude with this big fat hand.
God.
There's no fucking
No,
way.
I definitely would have. I've never been on a motorcycle, but at that moment I would have been like, yeah, let's absolutely do this. But I had
So
too
you
many
didn't
other
go.
patients.
You were right there
know.
because I cried like a little girl, like for like 5 seconds, because
When you first got there or after a while?
no, but the first time I walked, because the first time I walked
Oh,
in
it's
in
amazing.
4 months.
Well, you didn't think you were
it's
going to walk, right?
amazing.
No. And he's like, all right, I'm going to have you walk a couple steps. I'm like, I can't do it.
I can't do it, coach.
No,
Coach,
but-
I can't do it.
Because for months and months and months, you baby this foot and you lose the mechanics of it. And you take a step and I'm like,
Did you go down to one knee?
no, I was standing there and he's like, is everything all right? And I'm like, just give me a minute.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
I was like, I just think I'll do this again.
That's right when you started to run
Is
and,
he
and
still
just
there?
fell right down.
Oh yeah,
Give him a hello for me, please.
I will absolutely.
This is the guy who helped you walk again?
Oh, he totally 100% that dude got me to walk again. 100%.
So there's a lot of satisfaction with the job.
There can be, but some of our
You ever have somebody just fucking hate? You see him coming, you're like, this motherfucker.
So I don't hate. I've never hated anyone. I've
Dislike
definitely
somebody
had patients
intensely?
who I'm like, this person really grinds my gears. Let's put it that way. They really get to me. But I think at the end of the day, you have to realize when you're in this position, like people are coming to you for help, and
Yeah.
that is hard to do for a lot of people. So like if they're kind of mean to you, it's probably because
They're cranky.
they're having a hard time dealing with what they're dealing with. So a lot of times you just don't take it personally.
Yeah, you just let it go.
Can't take it personally.
Who are you texting? Stop texting.
We're not interesting. I'm apparently not.
Bullet.
I feel like a little hurt. I'm the
You're-
first lady, and I'm not interested.
It's ladies' night.
It's ladies' night.
You're the Miss Elizabeth of Coming At You podcast.
She doesn't know who Miss Elizabeth is.
Miss Elizabeth, the first lady of professional wrestling, married to the
I
Macho
don't
Man
think
Randy
Brandon likes
Savage.
I don't
wrestling.
do that. I don't watch wrestling. I'm sorry.
Bro.
Only
Bro.
mixed martial arts.
Bro.
Oh, don't get mad at me.
Bro.
You knew this about me.
Actually,
You knew
I
this.
thought
It's
that
not
was a
surprise.
good reference.
Bro, that was a good reference. You got some bro dating.
That's a high level. That's somebody everybody should know.
You got some bro dating you
Oh,
wanted
I
to
was
talk
gonna
about.
bust into Flair.
'Cause
on
you had a quiz.
I was gonna bust on the Flair.
He had a list. He calls me up today. He's like, bro, I got a list for some bro dates. I'm like, don't even ask me about it. Wait till save it for the show.
Bro dating tips.
Oh, they're tips.
Yeah, they're
Tips.
actually tips. And with is this
And
on
we got a
somebody's
female.
website?
We got a female here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What am I getting myself
Here
into?
we go.
Is there a quiz like how I should react and
So
then
what is
how the
bro
appropriate
dating?
way is?
Can we preface this with what this is?
Well, a
This
bro dude is basically Chris.
Bro,
You guys
bro,
are
what's
in
up, bro?
love.
Come
You're
on,
in
bro.
love.
Bro,
Hold on.
bro,
I know what a
bro,
bro is, but like what is when you talk about
Bro.
bro dating?
Okay, like,
like a bromance.
dude, bro.
Bromance.
Let
I
me
think it's
just
bromance,
let me
sorry.
just give you the breakdown on what a dude bro is. Dude bro. I don't want to insult him because we're
You
getting
can
along.
insult me?
All right. The dude bro is this guy. Goes to the gym, he's all into his muscles and shit. He's not gay, but he's all into his muscles. And look at my
Glamour
shit.
muscles.
Right?
No, they're real muscles. They work.
He's got the jujitsu muscles though.
Let's calm
See,
down.
it's hard for me because Chris did take me under his jujitsu wing
I did.
when I first started.
He blames you for
And
injuring his
I also punished
I really,
her.
really messed up his neck.
I
feel
also punished her
terrible
worse
about
than anybody.
it. When I got my blue
Here,
belt,
get
I
under my
got-
wing. no,
And
Yeah,
then, and
suffer.
then-
He
and
almost
then he
drove
made
me through a
sit back
fucking
for it
mirror,
after I
the
got my blue
prick.
belt.
Basically, a dude bro is think of like
like me. Right here.
Chris. Okay.
Okay, it's Chris.
Dude bro tip number one. Dating tip number
I
one.
care about myself.
So all right.
And we have the female perspective here on this.
All right, let me hear it.
This is dating tip number one.
Dating tip
For
number
dating
one.
someone like him.
No.
No,
This
this
is-
is the bro dude.
This is the bro
tip.
dude tip.
For
Okay,
dating.
here we go. Talk over her. That way she knows you're totally you're totally stronger than her physically, but also stronger than her at words.
So I think you nail this one first.
Wow,
Totally.
this is excellent.
My thing is this, it's not so much of a dude bro thing. I do the opposite thing.
I
like-
think you might be more of a dude bro by the time we're done this test.
it might be. We're gonna find out who's more of a dude bro.
Maybe you're the dude bro.
It could be, bro.
Bro, come on, bro.
My thing is
We're broing out hard. It's
Bro.
ladies' night and we're broing out
I-
hard.
Bro dating.
I found a professional wrestler that's
dating.
totally Chris is Matt Riddle, the king
What's
of the
the next
bros.
one on there?
What's the next one?
But
We only got a couple minutes before we gotta get.
I
Diane
tend
on.
to talk more when I get nervous, so it's more of a nervous thing.
It's a nervous bro.
I'm nervous, bro.
Nervous, bro.
It's a nervous bro.
Okay, number 2. Accuse her of flirting with the waiter and threaten to fight them just to show that you care.
That's definitely you too.
No, it's not.
Excellent.
I would never do that.
I would be more like, fucking bang them, let me watch.
I'm like, bro, banger, bro, bro.
Bro.
So neither one of us. Right now, it's 1-0 you.
Okay. Don't leave a tip so she knows you're totally good with women and also good with money. That's you. You're a stingy fuck.
I'm not a stingy fuck.
Todd?
I am not the stingy guy in the room.
He's not stingy, no.
Not even close.
No, you see all his equipment he buys.
For himself.
It's true.
That's the cover
know
up
what?
his lack of
No,
talent.
know
I
what?
feel like
You know what?
I feel like every
I believe
time
you're right.
there's been a fight
I believe
night,
he is stingy, but not for
How
himself.
many times did he fucking don't go through my cabinets and eat all my potato chips?
Because he targets particular foods. He also has this thing real fast, Brianna.
yeah. Oh, it's-
Let's just say
1 and 1.
Hold on.
1 and 1.
If I cut up some cheese and meats for Todd and I to snack out while watching the UFC, he might as well be a stray dog because he's just like, and he'll look to see if you're getting ready to grab anything, and he'll just keep eating faster.
Speaking of
his
UFC
son does it as well.
pay-per-views,
I mean,
I'm getting a Fire
charcuterie
Stick.
is
Can
where
you
it's
program
at,
it?
So I can't blame you.
Yes.
Cool.
No, you can't. You don't know anything about that.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Work for-
number 4.
Remember, you're not supposed to say.
Have at least 10 drinks. Have at least 10 drinks so she knows you're totally not a freaking lightweight.
Nice.
There you go.
There we go.
Somebody's a dude bro.
Dude, bro!
You're really throwing out hard.
Yeah,
with
right.
it.
You're
This
nailing
list is
2 out of 3 right
Yeah.
now.
Calm it down, Aardvark lady. Ask her opinion on things that are important to you. UFC, how much your stepdad sucks, porn, beer, the muscle definition in your forearms, etc.
Again,
That's
this
you.
dude.
That's
If
you.
That's
if you
you.
add
Actually, you know
professional
what?
wrestling,
That's
I don't
bullet.
know.
It's almost like
That's you.
it's both of you.
Maybe we combine for
You know what?
super dude bro.
Why your powers combined.
No.
Dude bro powers.
Activate.
He'll do all the things that
God.
make is all about physical appearance and stuff like that, and then you can do all the others.
It's not necessarily about physical appearance. I like to be physical and appear.
Hey, look at me.
All right, here we go.
Look at me lift these
And the
weights.
last dude bro
Has
tip.
nothing to do with that.
The last dude bro dating tip.
There was 5.
There's only 5.
This is number
said there was
6.
10.
This is
You
6.
said there was 10.
Well, I lied. Most importantly, make
to
eye
have it.
contact. Also make eye contact with her lower body parts. Get it?
That's you.
No.
Yeah.
I never disrespect women like that.
You just disrespect them other ways.
I never disrespect them like that.
Bullet's totally the
No.
dude bro. Out of us two, absolutely you are.
I don't think I am.
I think you are.
I think I have a little bit more substance than you.
I think next week when you come in, it's a whole different outfit you're wearing.
You think maybe I should
You're-
have like a visor? And
You're not
spike
trying
the
to
hair
go
up?
80s grunge
Are we
next
gonna
week.
do the tips, the frosted
80s
tips?
grunge? You
all
mean
the
like 90s?
all the chains. Things
Yeah, you're like Eddie Vedder took a shit.
You do have a lot of necklaces on. Why are there so many necklaces?
I don't
I
think
don't
he
know.
heard
Wear
that.
those
Say
all
it
the
again.
time?
No.
That's the
This is just for this show.
It's like the Mr.
You like
T-
put all of those necklaces on just for this show.
Yep.
Wow.
it's the
was
Mr.
a
T
commitment.
starter kit for rockers.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what's happening.
Todd's still laughing about what I said a second ago. You didn't hear what I said.
What'd you say?
I said you look like Eddie Vedder took a shit.
I know. I heard that. That's funny.
So now that we figure out
You
your-
look like the singer of Smash Mouth if he had AIDS.
now that we figure out now that we figured out you're
Somebody want-
now we figured out he's a dude bro.
He's a
Next
dude
week he's
bro.
gonna have a whole different gear on.
I'm gonna dance like this now.
And we're getting ready to make a phone call over there with the FaceTime. Todd,
I need the cord. Shoot.
what cord?
The one to plug in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
You had one job, Todd.
It's over. It's
I had a lot of
down.
jobs, but
No.
Oh, well, I guess we'll just keep talking while
all right.
Todd missed one job.
Mr. One Job Todd.
One job for Todd.
So, we didn't really get to delve too deep into your notes here.
Diana, if you're watching, we're going to be
Makes
contacting you in a
notes.
moment.
I did make notes, but that's all right.
Are you looking for the audio?
Well, because I think there was a confusion about why I was coming on tonight. So.
Not for me.
No,
That's all right,
we
it's
covered some of the stuff.
I
That's
felt
all right. I mean,
I felt I was much more scientific than Chris.
I
was
well,
actually
there's
asking
good stuff.
legitimate questions.
There was
I
good
think I was,
questions.
too.
I don't think you were.
super- you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you have something else you wanted to cover while we're waiting?
No.
I thought
mean,
you
I
were
had
having
this
fun.
stuff-
It sounds like you're not having fun,
No,
Brianna.
I'm having tons of fun.
Bubbles?
I'm having a lot. I have my carbonated beverage.
Why don't you have some of your whiskey?
Well, I have to.
Todd is almost connected.
All right.
He's so close.
You're actually. I wrote this list and I was like, Chris is going to be so proud of me because I even put as a recommendation.
Can I have the list for a second?
You know what I put as number 3 for? I'm going to tell you first. You're going to be
Yeah.
really proud of me. Number 3, try some no gi.
Oh.
You know how I feel about no gi,
Why don't
but
you help
I
yourself
wrote
to
it.
some no gi?
I don't like
You
no
know how I
gay.
feel about. I don't like it either.
Neither do I.
It's
Let's see what it
too
says on
much
here.
Spandex and no gi. I don't-
Very good
They're mine-
handwriting,
All right,
by
I'm
the
gonna
way.
They're
I'm
my
gonna
notes
try
though,
calling
so
Diana.
they might not
Call
make
Diana?
sense. We're calling Diana.
Try some no gi.
Yeah,
Limit De La Hiva and Spider.
yeah. Or space them out like we talked about, right?
Use outside finger hook grip.
So if we use kind of like the pistol grip or that outside hook grip,
I always do the monkey grip.
instead of kind of grabbing.
Yeah, me
so
too.
if we use the pistol on this side
Says
of the
she's not
hand,
available.
It says she's not available.
Yeah.
Try it again.
I'll send it again.
Maybe she was like, F this show.
Maybe she's I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure what she's doing.
maybe she was offended by the C word.
That's okay.
I didn't even say
Alright.
it.
We'll get her on.
It was implied.
It could have been what? The C word could be anything. Continental.
I'm gonna
Captain,
send her a message now.
If we can't do it, you could just plug in here and then.
Capricorn.
Curry.
All right. Let's see. It says
Constant.
Not available. I'm texting her.
Constantinople.
So pistol grip. It also
Trying to
says
use,
on
that's
here.
nice too because you're using the other side of your hand
I
to
never
grab the
use
gi.
that. I never
I
use
know a
that.
lot of people don't, but it could be nice to mix it up
Keep
if you're
trying,
having
Todd.
problems in one side of the hand, because the thumb side of your hand gets a lot more attention, like when you're doing activities. But actually, This side of the hand is stronger.
I was always I
This
would
side
do
is stronger.
I would
It
do
is.
I would do
It is.
4 fingers in, and then I would make sure my elbow was down and just
and
just-
that's better because if your elbow's locked out, that
Yeah.
could be really bad.
All the
news
pressure's
bears.
on the tips.
Bad
Yeah.
news bears. But so if you keep them kind of tighter, that's definitely going to be better.
well, because if your arm's extended, there's more of a pull,
You're
push
exactly
pull.
right.
You also had on here tape early and often. Like if I have class at 7, you might
That's
tape up
tap.
at like 2
that
o'clock.
doesn't say tape. That says.
I never taped. I know
actually
know
left-
people that would tape their fingers and their wrist and all that. I
So
never,
here,
never
my
did
thought
it.
on taping is it can be a very valuable asset. The problem is a
Hope she
lot
saw my
of people
message.
tape incorrectly for what's going on with their hands. So
Well, yeah, I saw that on the list too. Like
Yeah.
I would just tape like okay, my
there's a
fingers
lot.
fucked up.
So here's the
tape
thing:
it
is
to my arm.
there's a lot of different ways I could apply tape to do certain things. So like, is your finger bending back? Do you need support on the sides? Why do you need tape? There's a lot of different reasons we can
you just
use
wanna
it. So if
plug it
you're
in
just
car?
kind of like, well,
No, we're good.
if you're just kind of cut and pasting
So
someone
she
else's
said she
taping,
hasn't
it's probably
received
not
anything.
right for you.
Do you have the right number?
Yeah.
It's probably not right.
Well,
for
you know, I think that I think
Don't say it.
there's 2 schools of thought. I mean, me, I never taped. When I was doing jiu-jitsu, I never taped my hands. When
guarantee
I
you
was
don't have the
when
right
I was
number.
doing pro wrestling, I never taped my fingers, never taped my hands.
Send it again.
I know people that definitely do it.
You're doing FaceTime, right?
I always was just like,
It can be very effective. Don't get me wrong. I am drinking that Kool-Aid. I believe in tape, but the problem is I have seen people do tape that I know is not right for what is going on with
more
their
cosmetic?
hands. Well, they're kind of like, oh, I'm just going to put it around the whole finger, or I'm going to do those fancy X's. There's a reason people do those fancy X's, and if you don't have that specific condition, it's not going to help you as much.
have
so
you
that's
seen the
why.
grips? Have you seen the gloves that Kurt Angle is a big proponent of?
For the MMA gloves.
No. They're grappling. They're called graps, where they basically have these 2 fingers and these 2 fingers and the thumb, and it's like this, and it
I have
says
not.
never tape your hands again. It's a company that
How much are they?
I
I'll
don't.
have to look into that.
I
You
don't.
should buy me a pair.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's a company that he just promotes or whatever. But he's very big on them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Olympic gold medalist. He would have some kind of an idea in wrapping your hands and whatnot. And from some of the stuff that I've read, some of the literature, he says that he's a big proponent of them.
I'm not familiar. I could certainly check those out and get back to you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
but
made
that's
of.
the
It
thing
looks
is,
like they're neoprene.
My thought is go to an expert, get evaluated, and then they can tell you the exact
you
right
try it
taping
off
that's
this?
going to be most beneficial for what's
it seem to
going
work?
on with
To
your
her.
hands.
You-
the answer.
now,
No.
I think a lot of
you
the
doing
times,
that to
again,
yours?
people kind of neglect the hands.
here.
Absolutely.
It's one of the things you just take for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you say, as far as preventative,
Okay.
how long do you think a person should be warming
Put it
up?
on there.
So when we're thinking about warm ups, right? When we don't want, it used to be probably like even like 15 years ago. As soon as 15 years ago, people their warm up would just be these like static stretches where we go cold and we're stretching.
Yeah.
We know that that's not really the best case. You want kind of like a dynamic warm up, like jog. A lot of the stuff we do in jiu-jitsu where we're doing mat drills and things like that. That's a good warm up. Really, it's going to be different for every person. Like I could say it probably is going to take your average Joe like 15 minutes to warm up, but
Wow, really?
some of the people might warm up a lot quicker.
Okay.
So I mean,
Does
everybody's
temperature,
gonna be-
does the time of the year, I'm sorry, does the
Absolutely.
time of the year does affect
if
it?
you're cold, if you're going in kind of
Cold. Yeah.
a lot of times it does kind of take a lot longer because even just in winter, you're not as physically active in general. Most people are not as physically active. Like in
Gotcha.
the summer, you're kind of getting up, you're going, you got yard work, you got all kinds of just life stuff that you're doing, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're even just staying more physically active.
Yeah.
In the winter, a lot of people are kind of going into that. They are kind of hibernating a little bit, you
And
know?
I think people that are going into MMA gyms, jiu-jitsu gyms and whatnot, if they're going into a cold environment, they should be cognizant. Take a longer warm-up
if
in
the
general.
room, especially if the room is
That's what I mean.
also cold. Yeah, you want to kind of watch that for sure. So
Okay.
I mean, I definitely think the hands are kind of neglected with the whole
Sure.
whole thing for sure.
Sure. So you would recommend more of a dynamic instead of just static.
Absolutely, that's what the research says. I go with what the science says, and the science.
Well, you would
says-
know.
The science says do dynamic.
Okay.
So that's what I would definitely recommend.
Sure. That's a good time. Okay. Well, so, as far as like injuries with hands and whatnot, okay, just real quick, you are injured.
Okay.
You do have whatever it is.
Okay.
What are some of the things that a person can do to kind of minimize, or not, maybe not minimize, but kind of help in their recovery?
So,
because
the
you know what
thing
the
is,
thought is. The
I
thought is, I don't want to miss the time.
I don't want to miss the time, and I get it, and I recognize that. So the thing is, the first thing that people kind of always do is they say something like, "I just jammed my finger," or "I just sprained my finger."
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that people kind of need to understand is there's no such really thing as like I just jammed or I just sprained it. It's not a just because people when you have a sprain is a damage to the ligament, right? And when we damage ligament, there's generally either some kind of like swelling in that ligament or micro tear in that ligament, and it's a graded thing.
Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3.
Exactly. And when we get up to that grade 3,
that's
when
surgery.
it's not there. That's when we need surgery. So, when people are like, "Oh, I tore my ACL." That is really just a grade 3 sprain. Just a grade 3 sprain. So it's really important for people to realize that even if they think it's just a sprain, it still needs time to heal.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, and a lot of people do things that necessarily aren't the best for it. They might put themselves in like a finger splint for like a really long time. And that's not necessarily the best thing either, which is why it is important that you go to see someone about it. Get it evaluated. Worst case they're going to tell you is like, "Oh, it's not that serious." But if you have a sprain, especially if you have one of those grade 2 sprains, you could then make it a grade 3 and now we need surgery, right?
Yeah.
So it could be really, really serious. So my thought is always, and with the hands especially, your general practitioner is awesome, but for hand injuries, go to see a hand surgeon. See someone who only does hands. Like that's all they do. You'll have your best outcomes that way.
And it's more of a silent thing because it's like you said earlier in the very beginning, I think people tend to associate or equate striking arts with hand injuries. And you're not necessarily seeing the strain and damage that you're doing necessarily to a hand, even if you're straining on it, just with the push and pull. Hey!
The volume turned up on that.
All right, we've got volume. Which one are we on?
It's got to be whatever one Todd's on.
Hello. We don't hear you yet. Hold on, we're gonna figure it out. Todd had one job.
Hold on, we're just shitting the bed tonight.
We're shitting the bed tonight.
I think it's this one.
All right, I didn't. Oh.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
Just plug it into the front there.
Look at
No,
my
not in the headphones. Plug it into one of the other ports.
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Can we hear you now? No, not yet.
Yeah, we can hear. Turn it up.
I can't hear.
I heard her.
Go ahead and say something, Diana.
There you
Hey!
Hey!
We don't have the video part for some
You
reason.
want me to hold it?
My brother's. No, we can't.
I can barely hear her.
That's a bummer. I don't know why Todd's holding the phone to himself
I can barely hear her.
so he can see.
I have the volume all the way up.
I don't know if she's talking. Is she talking?
No.
Oh, hey.
Again, I can barely hear her.
Hand it back over, Todd. Hey.
I can hear her fine.
Yeah, I can hear her fine as well, Bullet.
I can't.
So,
No, it sounds crystal
no,
clear.
Brianna, can you hear her?
I can hear her. She's definitely
sounds
quieter than you guys.
I don't know
but-
why you can't hear, Bullet.
I can barely hear her.
Maybe you turn the volume up on your thing?
That's all the way to max. No, that's all the way to max too.
That's not even, it's halfway. There you go.
No, it's not it.
All right, well, I can hear you, Diana.
can't.
How are you?
We're
Way better.
good. We apologize for Todd because he had one job, and he really shit the bed there. Todd, check and see if people can hear her out in TV land and make sure
we
that they can hear her.
So Diana is fighting on XCC 28.
I know. Are you? So this is going to be your second fight, correct?
Yeah, my second fight.
So your first fight was in King of the Cage. You won by knockout in the first round. Is that your preferred? I mean, I know you train at Henzo's. People tend to see Gracie at the end of where you're coming out of, and they tend to think automatically, rightfully so, that okay, this girl's gonna be up on her jiu-jitsu game. But
That's my opponent was scared of.
yeah, I mean, look, we've seen it all calling fights. I've seen people come out to the ring in Muay Thai shorts and immediately shoot in a double leg.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean? Yeah, right. So would you, if you had a preferred way to win the fight, would it be by knockout or would it be by submission?
Absolutely, I would knockout. I don't
Well, I mean, there's no question
There's
of
a
it.
certain sense of satisfaction when you put somebody's lights out.
Yeah, there's absolutely
Like
there's a finality to
If
it.
you're tapping somebody, they have the decision to say, okay, I've had enough. Like if you putting somebody's lights out, there's no option. Like they're just done.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So this is your second amateur fight. Okay.
So, I mean, one of the hallmarks of amateur fights is that you're going to have people that drop in and out of fights and whatnot. Because of that, do you tend to focus more on what you're going to do, or do you try to find out information on a fighter and try to tailor a specific game plan, or do you just try to say, you know what, they're going to have to worry about what I'm bringing?
I just let them worry about me.
Yeah.
Worry about them. I just try to do what I do best. I train hard. I put in a lot of time into this, so
Yeah.
I just let them worry about me.
And how long have you been training, Diana?
Not very long. Consistently about 2 years now.
Okay. And when was your first fight? Like how far into your training?
I had my first fight May 6th.
Okay, so about a year and a half or a year and 9 months, whatever, into, or I guess this year, right? I guess 2 years. So at what point did you say, okay, I need to get in the cage with somebody?
I've been trying to get in the cage for as long as I can remember, but everybody,
That's fine.
trainers, my coaches, just told me to wait it out, and I guess this time was, my moment, and I just did it.
Okay. So
But I've been always been wanting to go in the cage. I started with
It was better
jiu-jitsu
before.
tournaments, and
it was much better before.
Okay,
Sorry.
hold on. We're still working out audio issues with our awesome producer Todd.
So as you were saying a second ago,
yeah, as I was saying, I started with the jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I was doing really good at that, and it's just very different going in the cage, and I just love that.
so when you started, it was everything right at once, or did you been doing jujitsu longer, or stand up longer, or just everything right from the start?
I started, boxing, I definitely love boxing. I have a lot of love for boxing. I started getting into it when I was 18. I started following MMA when I was 18, and back when it was nothing, nobody really watched it, nobody really knew about women's MMA, so I followed it. I got into boxing, and slowly, that was always my ultimate goal, to just get in the cage.
Do you feel there's more opportunities for you as a female in MMA or boxing?
MMA, I would say.
Right now, you would say MMA?
Definitely.
Okay. Now, I'm looking at your bio here. You've traveled. You've been in Greece. You've been in Brazil.
Okay, I was born and raised in Greece.
Okay.
I just moved here 4 years ago.
Are you serious? You don't even have an accent at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm a flirter.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Fast, so,
Did you have one when you got here?
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't talk really well when I got here, but half of my family is Colombian, so the only way to communicate was English, so I had no choice.
Gotcha. Now, obviously, Greece, basically one of the originators of the sport with pancration. Do you feel that maybe there is a certain responsibility, you know what I mean, given your heritage, that, do you feel that you're representing Greece and to a certain extent pancration?
Wow, you're putting a lot of weight on this. Holy shit.
Look at that one, see? See?
Do represent Greece. I feel like I have that, I have it in my blood, kind of,
Sure.
it's a fighter in me.
Now, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have a little brother and a big brother.
Okay, so you're the middle child, probably fought with both, and
Oh man, yeah. Honestly, as long as I can remember growing up in Greece, all I did was fight with my brother, and he got me to the point where I was very tough.
So you born and raised in Greece. What was the attraction to come to New York or America in general?
No, there's a lot of opportunities here.
Sure.
A lot of opportunities to grow, to become somebody.
Sure.
Greece, you could do that, but I always felt I wasn't, I didn't, I love Greece, and I'm very proud of where I come from, but I just felt I always could grow more than
Sure.
there.
Did you come here specifically to further your mixed martial arts career, or did you just come? Okay, so you came specifically, and obviously you sought out Renzo Gracie, probably a very well-known name.
I started actually at All Star, and then
Okay.
I train with right now I train out of Notorious in East Rutherford.
Okay, so that's a sub. It's basically it's part of North Jersey
Right outside
area,
New
right
York.
outside of New York. So you're taking the Lincoln Tunnel, you're going into the city.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta get.
It's we all help each other. I train with a lot of fighters. Caitlin, they help me out a lot.
Is there anyone else from your gym on this card coming up?
No, it's just me.
Okay.
So do you prefer being a road warrior? I mean, this is going to be not necessarily an environment that you're not really. Do you know anybody in Philadelphia area or no?
I don't really know. I mean, I have. Yeah, no, not really.
Do you find that helps you maintain your focus? That you're in a city like Philadelphia. Obviously, okay, Philadelphia is a big known city in America. There's a lot of history there, relatively, as far as Americans go, because Americans like 200, 300 years. But as far as focusing on why you're there, you're not worrying about seeing friends, seeing family necessarily. You can kind of stay focused on that goal. Do you find that helps you, or is it just doesn't really matter to you at this stage?
So relevant to me. Like honestly, I once I start walking to where like even in the bullpen or when I'm about to fight, I
Yeah.
just feel like glance over me. I don't think about anybody or anything. It's
Got you.
just weird. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I know.
I just focus on my fight.
Well, some fighters that we've talked to, I mean, there's been fighters that we've talked to, and just fighters throughout history, famous fighters that actually need to kind of get hit to feel that physicality to let them know they're in a fight. Obviously, one of the most famous, Evander Holyfield, he kind of needed to get hit to kind of be like,
Forrest
okay.
Griffin was the same way.
Forrest Griffin the same way to kind of turn it on. There's other fighters that you see as soon as they walk out.
Yeah, they're amped up before they even start.
They're in game mode. Which one are you? Would you say? Are you, as soon as you walk in, you lock eyes, you see your opponent, it's game time? Or is it a thing of, you know what, I'm competing, and once there's that initial contact, whether it's a lockup, whether it's a strike, that you're kind of like, okay, we're in this. This is happening now.
Yeah, definitely when you get into contact. Like I'm very calm once I'm walking to the cage or to the mat. I'm very calm.
Yeah.
All I have is I usually talk to myself like a crazy person.
Sure.
Like inside me.
Yeah.
So, once I get in there, I'm ready. I'm
And
ready, like feeling everything.
do you have a large
What's going on?
Do you have a large entourage of people that are going to be coming with you from New York?
Yeah, definitely. Like my family's gonna be there, my friends, my teammates. I'm gonna have a lot of people.
Got it.
So.
So obviously, like you said before, if you have a preference, you want to win this by knockout.
Yeah, I'm training for the knockout. Literally.
So you
Ready to kill it.
You fought in King of the Cage. Now, King of the Cage is one of the things about King of the Cage is they do use, and a lot of the times with some of the other promotions, they tend to use a smaller cage.
Yeah, they use like the 20-foot cage.
They
right?
use a 20-foot
Yeah.
cage, where UFC is a 25. I mean, it's a big. You got a lot of room to
I think
move.
ours is a small cage as well.
It's a
ours
smaller-
is, I think, is a 20 as well.
It's a 20. Are you a fighter that doesn't necessarily need that space? Some fighters you see, they're almost stifled by it.
It's
And
hard to run from
it
you.
forces an engagement. Are you a person that kind of, needs that movement? Or is it really one of those things that, the day of the fight, you're in the ring, you're moving around, you kind of get a feel for your surroundings, and you just kind of go with the flow? Or are you more of a game plan type of a fighter?
I kind of go with the flow.
Got you? Yeah.
I go through game plans, like I go over variations and this possibility, that possibility, like in training. But I always go in there, and it's like a game of chess. Like
Yep.
you can't really predict what they're gonna do. Like all that. That's why I don't study my opponents, because I can study all they want, like all I want, and then they could just be changing it up just
Sure.
You know what's funny is because before you came on, I had said to Bullet, I said, let's find out about her opponent.
Yeah.
And he goes, it doesn't matter. We're going to ask her about her opponent, and she's going to say this. And you just said it.
Well, it's
We
exactly.
literally had that conversation.
It's exactly like chess, except getting punched, kicked, kneed, slapped, taken down, and submitted. But I know what you mean, though. You're kind of adapting to what they're giving you, the energy that
Are
they're
you
giving you.
fighting under the amateur rules or advanced amateur rules?
I asked my coach to ask them if they could do advanced amateur rules.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're gonna accept.
Yeah, for anybody watching who doesn't know the difference, the amateur rules are 2-minute rounds, no head kicks, and when it's on the ground, you can't punch to the head. The advanced amateur rules are essentially the same as the pro rules, except it's a shorter round.
Short around and shin guards.
No, I don't think there's shin guards in the advanced amateur.
Oh, that's right. There is no shin guards, but there's shorter rounds, and they can't.
It's a 3-minute round versus a 5-minute.
5-minute round. Yeah.
But do you feel like when you're fighting under the amateur rules that some of your tools are taken away? Because we call the fights, and how many fights have we called where a guy just gets repeatedly punched in the diaphragm
Yeah.
like 900 times before a fight's over?
He's gonna have some.
And the
bad
head's open the whole time, but it just can't hit there.
He's gonna have some bad hiccups the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely I don't know. I mean, I hate fighting with shin guards, but I guess I'm gonna have to do it to deal with it.
Now, from what I understand, for the advanced amateur, I don't think there's much of a requirement, but you have to agree to it with your opponent.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay, and your opponent has not agreed to it, or did you even approach?
I asked my coach. I guess that's something that.
Now, who is your coach? I'm sorry. Your
I train with Marcia Bittencourt and Fiona Watson.
okay.
So, I talked to them, and that's, they got me the fight. So I'm
Sure.
talking to them.
Who was the fighter that really got you into this? Saying, you know what, I really want to do this.
I want to be like that person.
Okay. So I used to I love Gina Carano.
Okay.
Okay, I like Gina Carano too.
You don't have to qualify.
Yeah, we're fans.
You're like qualifying, like
You're like, well,
whoa.
here's why I'm doing it. It's,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're a fan,
What
but
she's trying to say is she's a fan of his from the movies.
yeah. Oh, she was awesome.
Well, look, she's legit. Period. She's a chick that paid her dues, and I think for a long time women's MMA was looked down on. It wasn't taken as seriously, and you can look at certain fighters, Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey. Say what you will about
Misha
her.
Tate.
Misha Tate, Cyborg.
Cyborg for sure, even though nobody gives her the credit.
I mean, these are all fighters that. I mean, look, me and Chris. Every time that we call fights and we look at the call sheet. And we have this conversation with ourselves and say, look, we have yet to see a women fight that's a dud.
Yeah, usually 99% of the time they're the most action.
Because
They can just come out and go after it.
I think
like
more
pit
than
bulls.
any other weight class, any other division, there at least many of the fights that we've seen, the fighters are very aware that they're not only representing themselves, representing their teams, they're representing their division. They're representing the legitimacy of being there, because it's very natural for people to say, this is an attractive girl. She can't really know how to fight. Why are they on here? Yeah. And I get it myself. I mean, a lot of people say, look, you're an attractive guy, you don't really know anything about fighting.
It's not easy being him, Diana.
It's not. Look, it's not easy being beautiful. We know this. It's a pain that we know. It's a cross we have to bear. But I mean, what do you say to people that what is your attitude? Is it more of like, well, I don't really focus on them? Is it fuel for motivation for you that people that want to kind of delegitimize it or kind of look down on it or not take you as seriously because they're just like, oh, you know what, this is a really attractive girl, she doesn't really know anything about fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I honestly I don't know why, but I just don't care at all.
And then you shouldn't.
Do you get random friends say, hey, you think you could beat me up? Probably get that a lot. And point the camera at her for a second. This is our friend Brianna. She's on the show tonight as well.
It's
She
ladies'
trains
night.
she
It's
trains
ladies' night.
jiu-jitsu as well. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, she could kick the shit out of somebody at this point. Like,
Well, I'm down a knee right now, but
Right.
once that knee's back, I'm in.
but at some point you probably had to figure out, like, okay, now there's white belts. Now there's these other people. Like, I can tool these dudes up. Right? And now you're legit tough. Like, you can fight ladies and you can fight dudes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does he train? Oh, shit.
You're like, kiss my ass. You take the trash
I'm going to
out.
put a whooping on you.
You do the dishes.
Remember that time you took my Sunday when we were kids? Now you're fucking dead. My younger brother, who's holding the camera behind you, his son trains jiu-jitsu as well. He's a purple belt, and he trains with us.
Nice kid.
He's a great kid. And there came a point probably in the last couple months where you realize he can't do anything to my nephew anymore. So they don't even play wrestle or do anything anymore. Like, it's just not even fun for him.
No, but I have like my dad and my brother sometimes come up to me all tough and shit, cause like honestly, there's a reason I'm tough like this. Like I'm so like clumsy and like tough for no reason sometimes.
Sure.
So like they'll come up to me like, oh, you're tough, like you wanna kick ass? I'm like, yeah, and then we start fighting, and then you see them like get hurt. I'm like, I'm sorry.
You can't hurt your dad. You can't take his pride
Yeah,
from him.
no.
Come on.
No.
Come on, it's dad.
Well,
I will always let my husband win.
So
You better not. You better not say that.
yeah, you could probably beat him up.
Good.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got this fight coming up. You're going to have a whole crew of people coming down for you. Obviously, you know, this is a big thing. This is your second MMA
For
fight.
everybody watching, it's XCC 28, June 23rd at the Philadelphia Armory, Northeast
Armory.
Philadelphia.
Oh, they're
Southampton
going on,
Road.
They're doing them in the Armory. I thought
Yeah.
they put a kibosh on that.
No, we're back.
We're back.
And then we have, I think, another one in August.
We have another one in August.
I think there's one we were talking about at the Sands sometime in the fall, but I may have just made that one up.
I
But
love the
We
Sands.
did a real nice one at the Sands Casino a few months ago,
It's a
Diana.
Great venue.
While we have you on the phone, we might as well get her inputs for some fights this weekend.
Yeah, we should.
We always do fight news on our show. My younger brother, who was unable to hook up with the laptop, has been holding the phone like this the whole time, and I think he's lost all strength in his arm.
Do you need me to hold Diana?
No, we're good. but while we have you on the phone, our friend Brianna watches the fights, and Bullet watches the fights, and obviously I do, and my brother does. Normally when there's fights, we're going to go over the card. Just getting real quick while we're talking. All three of us trained under Wilson Hayes, who fights in the UFC.
They just announced.
He just fought Demetrius
They
Johnson.
just announced a new fight.
He's fighting Henry
Cejudo.
Cejudo. That's going to happen.
That's gonna be happening in September.
September 9th.
Yeah, and in Canada.
Yeah, is that how you say Canada?
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody
I
say
think
it
you
like
put
that.
the emphasis on the wrong
I did.
syllable.
I say Lady Gaga is going to be singing at Canada.
Canada.
So our good friend Wilson is going to be fighting Henry Cejudo. It's going to be a good card for sure.
Yeah.
But this fight, this weekend, there's some decent fights.
Hit me. What do we got?
Are you ready for this? Are you ready, Diana? Brianna?
I'm ready. Let's
Wait, we
hear
got
it.
a lot of Ianas in the room.
Diana.
We got Diana and Brian.
The ratio
Brianna.
is at its all-time high.
Tadana.
And Todd. And it's ladies' night. But I'm going to start from the bottom of the card.
You saw we start from the feet up.
Alex.
Oh.
Oh. Alex.
Ladies' night is getting saucy.
Look,
I'll let you-
being a hip hop artist myself, I can appreciate that reference.
You can read the fights because I'm terrible with names.
He's terrible with names. Okay, so we're going to start from the feet up here. So I'm going to scroll down here. We've got Dong-Young Kim.
Who's the Donger fighting?
The Korean zombie is going to be fighting Thibault Gatoy.
And he's the first
That's
fight.
a good fight.
But he's
Why
the
is that first?
fight.
The first fight.
Is that the one that's on like Fight Pass or something?
I heard he was injured.
The Donger?
Yeah, I heard the Korean zombie might be
Donger
injured.
need food.
Donger need food.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go with the fucking Korean zombie. I don't care how hurt he is.
I'm going to take a wager.
Yeah. Let's bet some beers on this. I'm going to go one beer on the Korean zombie.
Let's just say it's a good thing that we'll be running into you after your weight cut, Diana, because if you owe us beers,
You're going to have to drink
You're
them.
going to have to drink. I'm sorry.
Rules.
I don't drink, but I'll have like pizza.
All right.
You'll have pizza.
I bet
We're
you
going
one slice.
Slices of pizza.
One
I
slice.
just bet her one
One
slice.
slice.
Yes.
She's going to be like 50 slices deep at the end of the night.
Your coach is going to hate us.
Yeah.
JJ Aldrich.
I don't know who JJ Aldrich is.
She's 4'2" at 115 pounds.
Who's she fighting?
Kamini Jian.
Give me the ones I know. I
From
just
South
want to hear the
Korea.
ones I know.
Yeah, can you believe Dong Young Kim's the first fight?
It's got to be the Fight Pass because the Donger is fucking awesome. It's a Korean
Yeah.
Zombie,
But
man.
they're free fights.
Okay, here we go. We
The whole card's free? Oh, it's on Fox Sports 1,
Yeah,
right?
it's in Fox
Oh,
Sports
shit.
1.
All right.
Okay, so we've got Tim Elliott with a record of 15-7
I thought
against.
he was retiring.
Oh, apparently maybe this is his last one against Ben Eugen, 16-6.
I'd take Tim Elliott as
Yeah,
well. I
Tim
bet
Elliott.
you one slice of pie.
She agreed with you. You can't bet her if she's agreeing with you.
Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
Then I bet you one slice. of
Okay.
pie.
I also
Hold on,
agreed
hold on,
with
no,
you.
you still bet. Because
There was a
if we all
mutual-
lose, we all drink.
There's too much.
We all
There's
eat
too much
pizza.
going on for her to listen to it.
Hold
once.
on. Preferred type of pizza.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! Did
Talking
you just go there?
We
Let's get
talking
real. Let's get
pepperoni.
real.
We talking three
Wow.
cheeses.
gotta
What are
have
we
something-
talking about?
She's Greek. She's got to have something special.
Well, let's not generalize. You racist.
Oh.
She said
Buffalo.
buffalo.
What did she
Oh,
say?
Buffalo.
Oh, how about that? Bet you didn't think she was going to say that, did you?
I thought
I
she
did
might have
not.
had something
I did not.
special from her home island.
What?
She's from Greece. I thought she might have had something special.
What do you think she's going to like say? This is Spartan kicking the chest and like what? Like what's?
Possibly.
No, I
I
wanted
apologize
to
for
know.
him.
No, don't apologize. I would have expected a little bit different kind of pizza.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have because I'm not a racist.
How is
Anyway.
that racist?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was thinking
Exactly.
something special.
Yes.
Come on now.
Dan Hooker versus Ross Pearson.
Ross Pearson all day long.
You
He's
know-
got something to prove. He doesn't have many more fights in him.
And I love him, though.
Look,
And he's tough
Guy
as
fights.
nails.
the
Guys
real
fight.
deal is definitely the real deal. However, he's inconsistent as hell. What do you think? What do you think, Diana?
You don't know who Ross Pearson
Ross
is?
Pearson's a former Ultimate Fighter winner. He's trained at Alliance for a long time. British guy, very good boxing.
Brianna?
I always feel like I have to go with the Alliance guys just because I know
Yeah.
Wilson's there. So I always like.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go with Ross Pearson. Are you with us, Brianna? Diana?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so nobody's eating a slice on this one.
All right. Here's
No
the
pizza
here's
will be had.
here's the main event. There's a lot of
Wait,
beef.
so if we lose, we get to eat pizza?
What if
so I'm
Diana
gonna
had a
start picking the losing people.
Gambling problem, and we see her in 10 years from now, she's like 900 pounds.
She's only betting pizza. That's it. No money.
bet you 2 slices.
Just
I
pizza.
don't think it's gonna happen. Here we go. Talking about 900 pounds. We got a lot of beef. We got a lot of beef in this main event. We got a lot of beef in this.
Are we
main
already
event.
up to the main event?
We are.
Who is it?
Derek the Black Beast Lewis
Oh, you can't count that dude out of anything.
versus Mark Mother effing Hunt.
You got
Oh,
you got 2 dudes who can't grapple for anything.
They don't need to,
Why are you yelling?
right? Come on, you got Mark Hunt, the
know.
pride of New Zealand.
I'm,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
gonna
I'm
go-
gonna
Wow.
go Mark Hunt.
I'm gonna go with Mark Hunt on this.
think
I'm
one.
gonna
gonna
go
go
Black
Mark
Beast on
Hunt.
this, even though my heart belongs to Hunt. I'm gonna go Black Beast.
Apparently,
I'm
your
going
ass
Black
belongs
Beast.
to the beast.
Black
things
Beast as well.
things in me and Hunt are just not working out.
You got to
so I'm
eat
gonna go Black Beast.
You got to eat a whole pizza.
I will eat a whole pie.
Wow.
And
if
we're
the
gonna
Black
tape it.
Beast doesn't win.
We're gonna tape
And
it.
I'm
Won't
gonna
leave the
make
gym
a
for a
prediction as well. I'm gonna say Black Beast puts him out first round.
Whoa.
3 minutes and 42 seconds into it.
I'm gonna bet you
Knockout. Left hook.
Second round knockout. Left hook to the body.
I just said left hook. You can't take my left hook.
To the body though.
Oh, jeez.
Left hook to the body, right hook to the head. He's gonna go under, and then he's gonna go over the top. He's
a
gonna be
combo.
like, yeah, he's gonna
Going
hit him.
combo.
The
gonna hit
old
him-
1-2.
It's like he's driving through the drive-through at Popeyes and saying, "I want this combo meal." He's gonna hit him with a what? Wow.
So we got 2 versus 2 on this one.
2 versus 2. That's the main event.
Did you see the fights last week?
I did.
Aldo versus Holloway.
Did you see the fights last week? Did it hurt your heart to see Aldo lose like that?
It didn't bother me at all.
It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart.
Every couple years you see the changing of the guard, and you just got to get used to it.
Do it
I don't
easy.
like change. I don't like anything new.
You stop.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm old. I know I don't look.
For if you
Babies.
Diana, if you go back and watch some of our episodes, Bullet wear the same shirt for like 62 episodes.
It's because it's the only one that fit.
That's how much he doesn't like change.
Okay. Okay. Let's just clear this in with okay. It was the only shirt that fit me at the time.
He was
See,
a little beefy at the
I was a
time.
little beefy at the time.
Just couldn't fit in any shirt.
I was cultivating mass.
But Holloway,
Bulking season.
Yeah.
I thought until Holloway caught him that
Did you see what Holloway did on Instagram?
it was pretty even. What did he do?
Holloway, in an age of trash talking fighters, he put a post praising Aldo. Said this is a guy that came from the gutter. He was.
Oh, he
poor.
praised him after the fight as well.
No. But what I mean is like days after the fight, praised him. Said this doesn't tarnish his legacy. His legacy is the fact that he came from favelas. He came from nothing. He trained hungry. He
I
trained
feel like
poor.
Bullet's gonna cry.
No, look, Aldo's had
Real
him.
underdog story, and that's a class
Aldo
act to say that about
Aldo
him.
is
Yeah.
It's a
Aldo.
class act.
I don't look. Father Time always wins. Aldo is a guy that he ruled that division for a decade.
10 years. He was the Fedor of his division.
For a decade, you show me a fighter in a division that talented, that stacked, that was winning for a decade. 13 seconds against McGregor does nothing for me. People get caught. You're human. That happens.
I feel like that fight would have been so different if it went on for a little more.
Sure, look, it doesn't matter if you get caught.
I
It,
agree.
it happens. It's part of the sport.
It's part of the sport. It's
Max
gonna happen.
Holloway
You're going
beat
to
him.
get caught.
Max Holloway beat him down.
Holloway put it on him. It wasn't a knockout. It was a
And look,
knock you down and then keep pounding on you.
The first round, Aldo was whooping his ass.
Oh yeah, Aldo looked. I've never seen Aldo look that fast.
However, people adjust. I think when Frankie Edgar
He
fought
clipped
him,
Holloway a couple good times too.
Frankie Edgar wasn't able to adjust. And that's not a knock on Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar's a guy that, look,
Super talented.
you hit Frankie Edgar in the face with a baseball bat, he's going to spit toothpicks at you. He's that tough.
That's a good line, by the way.
It's the
that one.
truth. He just that guy's got
Copyrighted
more
bullet.
heart. That guy's got more heart than the Red Cross. That guy is awesome.
He's
Copyrighted
full of
bullet,
them.
27
Say another one.
seconds.
Give me one more good one. Give me another good one.
I don't know.
You-
Now you're
I know
putting me
you
on
got
the
'em.
spot. Put me on the spot.
They're flowing.
But what I
tonight.
mean is that Max Holloway was able to adjust. He was able to switch it up, and he put it on Aldo. It happens. Fedor lost. Minotauro, my favorite fighter of all time. Father Time caught up with him. I mean,
It's gonna catch up to everybody.
it's going to catch up. But when I think of Minotauro, I don't think of the guy that was losing to schmucks like Brendan Shaw.
No, but one of the things we've talked about forever, Brianna and Diana, the Ianas,
Yeah.
is an executive division
Ooh.
of fighters, right?
I like that. That doesn't
Right?
even mean
I
old.
like the name though.
Yeah, I just made that up a second ago. Like who fought that was
So kind of like they
Vitor just
do
fought.
in a lot of the masters divisions, which you're trying to make like a jiu-jitsu masters
yeah,
division,
there's
but
a
for MMA.
there's a shitload of guys we would still like to see fight,
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
but they don't have it in them. Like Belfort versus Marquardt last week, for an example.
Perfect example.
Perfect example. Why? Thank you, Todd. So
How about a Chuck Liddell versus a Randy Couture?
yeah, two
What?
guys that you
We're bringing it back.
Exactly,
We're bringing
but
it way back.
pull Matt Hughes
I'm
out of
old school
retirement.
like an old fool.
But
Oh.
he's
Copyright
got
bullet,
all kinds of stuff.
2017.
But there's guys that can't compete with the younger guys anymore because things have changed, right? But they still have the fight in them, and they still have a certain level of talent that's higher than most people out there in the world, right? I still want to see those guys fight.
And I'm willing to modify the rules a little bit. 3 minutes, something.
Yeah, rocking
to get-
chair instead of like a stool.
Maybe when you get up into that division, we actually then go back to amateur rules where now we're wearing some pads.
I would be fine with
maybe.
that
I'm
too,
okay
but
with it.
I'm
okay.
Shorter
with it.
rounds,
Shorter rounds,
longer rounds,
no head kicks.
longer rests between rounds.
Like
When you're
15
down on the ground because you need oxygen, no one punches
Oh,
you.
15 minutes between rounds.
You get one timeout.
You can phone a friend.
Look, say
Tag someone in. We're really.
say what you will, but I think that 10-minute first round in Pride separated the real people from the wannabe people.
Absolutely.
That 10-minute round in Pride was the truth, and the fact that you could stomp a dude out like a cigarette.
Oh, dude,
with a
soccer
foot-
kicks to
with
the
a-
head.
with a foot stomp. What is your take on that? I mean, because you're a fighter that's in there. I mean, do you think that they need to allow stomps and things like that?
Hand me the phone.
I'm gonna
No, get off my
We're really
Facebook
not fun,
page.
huh? You're on Facebook right now.
I just realized that he was doing it.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
I'm a little hurt.
But keep in mind, whenever this guy gets a chance, he does it to everybody.
I would never do that.
I just texted his wife that on his phone that says "I love men."
Somehow I have 13 comments all of a sudden. Whatever the fuck you just typed, dickhead.
No, I wasn't able to get on there. I really didn't. So we like to keep it lighthearted here, but it's really awesome to talk to the fighters before the fights and all, and get a feel for them and everything like that.
He typed "I love men" to my wife.
Yeah. I feel like she already knows that. I mean, he has pajama parties 6 days a week. You know what I mean? And wrestles with them. I'm gonna grapple with you.
Well, we are absolutely looking forward to seeing you fight next week.
Awesome.
Once you're a friend of the show,
You're a friend for life.
you're a friend for sure. Like we're gonna show up at Christmas parties.
That's it.
We're gonna show.
That might not be what
we're
you're
gonna
hoping
show
for,
up.
Diana.
We're gonna show
You've
up
been
at
adopted.
Greek Easter because I know that's like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna show up at everything.
We're gonna be like, hey, dude, you gotta dress up like Wonder Woman. You got the name already, Diana. Have you seen the movie?
Have you seen it? She does look like her a little bit.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Was it good?
It was. I snuck out and saw it the other day, and all I remember is this is me watching the movie the whole time.
Oh, you killed the
What
headphones.
did you just
bro.
do?
No, bro.
We're bro now. Together.
Oh, okay, we're back, and we're
No.
Chris killed the
No.
headphones.
okay. Hey, we're back. I kicked something,
Sorry, I got one job.
but I remember watching the movie.
Jesus
Right? Don't
Christ.
touch it again. Don't
I
touch it again.
I have to hold it.
That's fine. You just hold it.
Literally hold
You
it.
just hold it. I went and saw it. I was just
Was it
pissed
good?
off one
What
day,
you-
and I went to the movies like towards the end of the workday, and I'm just like, fuck it.
I guarantee you were like, I bet you I could armbar.
No, you
Wonder
know what?
Woman.
Every time I looked at this chick, I'm like, I love you. Like I just fucking could not. By the time I was done, I'm like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Look, I'm telling you right now, on the record, on YouTube, that chick will get me wearing a yarmulke, eating matzo ball soup. I'd be like, Chahoyim.
Yeah, because she's Israeli.
I don't give a fuck.
All right, are you getting a little crazy now? Calm
getting a
down
little
there, guy.
I don't care.
What's the word?
So-
What's the word? Calm down.
Yeah, calm down.
Rein it in, Wild Stallion.
Rein it in, Wild
that's the safe
Stallion. I
word.
gotta say that to him to calm him down.
But it is cool. It's always awesome talking to the fighters coming up with the show.
Yeah, we're
And
absolutely excited to see you fight.
And again, XCC obviously our boss.
XCC
Helen
does a great
being
job
alone.
putting on a card. Ryan and
They
Helen
do.
do an incredible
I
job.
really do.
She's looking good.
We have a ton of fun when we do the fights. We have the best seats in the room. There's been times where people are right up against the cage,
Yeah.
and we're.
You'll see us. I'll be wearing a cowboy hat,
If
looking
you're
sexy.
if you're anywhere if
I'll be
you're
wearing a cowboy
anywhere
hat.
if you're anywhere near the cage right where we're sitting, we always like when somebody just kind of says something to us in the middle of the fight just to acknowledge us. We've had a few people do that. It's
Yep.
fucking awesome when it happens.
One time someone said, they're like, hey man, you're really looking good. You're looking like you're losing a little bit of weight. And I said, hey man, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
it was.
But,
really nice.
but it was in the middle of the guy punching some other guy in the face on
That's
6 inches
that's
away
a
on the other
little
side of
bit
the
more
cage.
He had a
That-
full
that
mount and he was
worked out.
punching the guy and he's like, hey Kev, you know what? You really look like you're really yoga thing's working for you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
actually it is. You know what I mean? I've changed my diet. I'm drinking a lot of
So,
water.
ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening tonight, we appreciate our good friend Brianna coming on.
Thank you for
Our
having
new
me.
friend Diana coming on. XCC 28, we're going to be there.
Absolutely.
June 23rd at the Philadelphia Armory. We want to thank Resp Tattoo, Trenton Road Takeout, Leatherman Tools.
You know what? Nicole never
No, who else you got? Who else sponsors?
from Trenton Road Takeout. Sponsors, we've got Leatherman Tools, we've got Nature Box.
Dads in Cargo Shorts.
He's coming on next week. I can't wait to meet him for the first time.
Yeah, 'cause
Wow.
Bullet was really drunk last time and he fell out of his chair, so those two don't remember each other.
Uh-oh.
That's
all right.
And then if you could follow Diana on Instagram.
Now, how do you pronounce it? Is it Caravas?
It's Diana Carruthers.
Caravas.
Caravas.
See, that's why I asked. So it's Diana Caravas. Everybody come out June 23rd.
June 23rd at the
XCC.
Philadelphia Armory.
Come on out. Make posters. Make Wonder Woman posters.
If you see Bullet and I, say hello. If you like our show, share the show.
Share the show. If you're a teammate of Diana, please don't hate us for being silly.
No, and we're always happy to make new friends too.
It
So
won't make new friends.
yeah, so Diana, thank you. Brianna,
Thanks a lot. Good
thank
luck.
you.
Best of luck to you.
Bullet, thank
Good
you.
luck.
Awesome
Diana.
talking to you.
Me, thank me. Nothing.
Why don't we thank me? I'm the one who created.
And sorry for our technical difficulties. Next time we'll get you on camera.
Look, it's the guy Todd. Say thanks a lot, Todd. You had one job.
Toddy. That's awesome. That's it.
Excellent.
Excellent. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye now.
That was funny.
I don't know why